All right, in a big setback to Mamata Banerjee, the Supreme Court has now issued notice to the Bengal Chief Minister, that is in the ED I-PAC raids case. Now, notices issued by the Supreme Court to the West Bengal Police and the state government. The Supreme Court said it is of the prima facie view that the ED's petition raises a serious issue that's relating to the investigation and interference by state agencies. The top court also said that the state government of West Bengal was interfering in the ED probe. The Supreme Court has now paused the FIRs which were registered against officers of the Enforcement Directorate by West Bengal officials. The bench of Justice Prashant Mishra and Justice Vipul Pancholi, they have also sought replies from the Ministry of Home Affairs on ED's petition seeking the suspension of Bengal's DGP Rajeev Kumar and also the Kolkata Police Commissioner Manoj Verma, among others.
Whenever in a non-BJP state, central agency will interfere with the political party just before election, that is also not good. Correct? Similarly, if the central agency works and the state agency interferes, that is also not good. To maintaining this cooperative federalism is not the duty only of the state, it is also duty of the central government. Evidence which has been taken by in this statement is 21st February 2024. Thereafter he was sleeping altogether. Now when the election is forthcoming, then he was jumping upon, ED is jumping upon. That is also the question now.
आज इस बात पे है कि सर्वोच्च न्यायालय से एक करारा झटका ममता बनर्जी को लगा है और ये ऐसा झटका है जिससे स्पष्ट हो गया है जंगल राज कैसा होता है। जंगल राज बिल्कुल ममता राज जैसा होता है। हम सब ने देखा किस तरह से एक मुख्यमंत्री जिसका दायित्व है, अगर संविधान पढ़े ममता बनर्जी, द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इज टू एड एंड असिस्ट द इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज ऑफ द सेंटर। एड एंड असिस्ट, उनके हाथ मजबूत करने थे ममता बनर्जी को। लेकिन ममता बनर्जी शुरुआत करते हैं इस तस्वीर से। ये तस्वीर देखिए, ऐसे जकड़ लिया फाइलों को, ऐसे चुरा के भागी मोबाइल फोन को।
ममता बनर्जी की शराफत इतनी ज्यादा है कि वो कानून को मानती ही नहीं अपनी शराफत के आगे। वो संघीय ढांचा को नहीं मानती अपनी शराफत के आगे। और उनके शराफत से बंगाल की वो जनता डरी हुई है जो बांग्लादेश से आए हुए बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठिए मुसलमानों के कारण अति हो रहा है। और ममता बनर्जी इतनी शराफत से काम करती हैं कि सारे गुंडागर्दी भी उनके आगे सब झुका हुआ है। अब जिस राज्य में उन्होंने अपनी शराफत के कारण पुलिस और गुंडे को टीएमसी का वर्कर बना दिया, इतनी शराफत से काम ली है कि जो गुंडे थे उनको भी वर्कर बना दिया, जो पुलिस थे उनको भी वर्कर बना दिया।
न्यायालय पर छोड़ दीजिए, न्यायालय क्या फैसला लेते हैं, हम लोग क्या कहें। फिर भी तो कहा ना, ये देखने में बुरा लगता है कि एक सूबे की तरफ से और केंद्र की तरफ से दोनों, मतलब दोनों एजेंसी की तरफ से एक के खिलाफ एक चले जाता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, जहां ये संघीय ढांचा की दो हिस्सा होते हैं। सारे देश की दो हिस्से बनता है, केंद्र बने या राज्य, दोनों हिस्सा एक साथ काम करना चाहिए। यही संघीय ढांचे की सबसे बड़ा पहचान होते हैं। उसमें दरार पैदा हो चुके हैं, उसमें अविश्वास की वातावरण पैदा हो चुकी है। ये हमारे देश की और साथ साथ संघीय ढांचा के लिए अच्छा नहीं है।
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात तो यह है कि चोर मचाया शोर। हाईकोर्ट ने तो ये क्लियर कर दिया। हाईकोर्ट का उस दिन का जो ऑब्जर्वेशन था, ये स्पष्ट है कि ईडी का ऊपर तृणमूल कांग्रेस और ममता बनर्जी ने जो आरोप लगाया था वो बेबुनियाद था, उसका बेसलेस था। जनता की अदालत में तो विचार हो गया है। अभी न्यायालय में प्रक्रिया चल रहा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में सुनवाई चल रहा है, अभी भी चल रहा है। ईडी का पक्ष से ईडी अपना पक्ष रख चुके हैं, लेकिन जहां तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सवाल है और पश्चिम बंगाल भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सवाल है, हम लोग ईडी सीबीआई का ऊपर भरोसा करके तो राजनीति करने नहीं निकला है। हम ये विश्वास करते हैं सारे जांच प्रक्रिया बंद कर दिया, कर दीजिए। ईडी सीबीआई के दफ्तर पर ताला लगा दीजिए, आप एसआईआर को रोक दीजिए। फिर भी इस बार पश्चिम बंगाल की जनता ममता बनर्जी और उसकी सरकार को विसर्जन देके रहेगा।
All right, before we go across to reporters who've been tracking this story very closely, let's just tell you about the crux, the major pointers which the Enforcement Directorate has made and what the Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has countered. First up, ED is seeking CBI probe against Mamata and the West Bengal officers. And this is linked to, the plea is linked to ED raids at I-PAC office, which is regarding the coal mining scam. ED says that the Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee confronted officials, removed files. Mamata Banerjee has an allegation of evidence chori on her. Well, Mamata Banerjee has to say that all the raids which were conducted a few weeks ago in West Bengal, the raids were illegal and politically motivated. Well, to give us a lowdown of what happened in the Supreme Court today, we have with us a reporter who've been tracking this very closely. I have with us Shresi Dey. She's joining me live from outside the ED office in Kolkata. I also have with us Nupur Dogra joining us live from outside the Supreme Court in Delhi. Shresi, coming to you first. You're joining us live from outside the ED office. The pertinent demand made by the ED is for a CBI probe against Mamata and the West Bengal officers. The ED has now accused Banerjee and West Bengal officers of interfering with the probe, which the Supreme Court has also backed and has said that it perhaps raises a serious concern. Give us a lowdown of all that has happened in the Supreme Court and the way forward.
Absolutely, certain relief for the Enforcement Directorate. Firstly, because the FIRs that were filed by the West Bengal Police against the ED officials who were raiding at the I-PAC office and its director, co-founder Pratik Jain's residence has been put on stay till the next hearing. And the Supreme Court has also asked the CCTV footage of both these places to be preserved and also issued notices to DOPT, MHA, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, DGP Rajeev, Kumar, Kolkata Police Commissioner Manoj, Verma and DCP South Priyobroto Roy. So of course this comes as a relief for the Enforcement Directorate. There will be no parallel investigation against them here in the state, but of course the sharp comments and observations coming in from the Supreme Court hint at the way the entire search operation was meddled with by the state machinery. The Supreme Court has also said that this will set a precedence not only because it involves the government of West Bengal here in the state, but also in other non-BJP ruled states where, the central agencies are conducting investigations and the opposition parties have time and again pointed fingers at the BJP, the central leadership, of misusing the central agencies against them. But of course, this entire high drama political, fight that has now broken out between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress is likely to escalate with the Supreme Court hearing the matter again on the on 3rd February. But till then, the war of words between both the ruling and the opposition party of West Bengal continues.
Right, Shresi, coming to you, Nupur. NDTV has exclusively accessed the WhatsApp messages which asked the lawyers to gather outside the court. You are joining us live from outside the Supreme Court. Two big pointers here. The Supreme Court has now asked Mamata Banerjee to respond. And second up, has also perhaps raised the lawlessness in West Bengal when the Supreme Court goes on to say that the Calcutta High Court was converted into a jantar mantar.
Well,
Well, Raisha, absolutely right. And what makes it an extraordinary step on the part of the Supreme Court is that in past several years, we have seen several such high-profile politically charged cases coming in the top court, including chief ministers like Hemant Soren coming to the Supreme Court directly seeking a relief or a protection from arrest. But the Supreme Court in all of the cases refused to interfere when the High Court was already dealing with this matter. But here in this case, why the Supreme Court has primarily made this remark of lawlessness and why the Supreme Court has said that to maintain rule of law, it is essential that all organs in the democracy, all parts in the democracy, pillars of the democracy function independently. It is because it took cognizance of this WhatsApp message that was being circulated around in Calcutta High Court on that day, on the first day of hearing, that was 9th of January, following which lawyers had in fact gathered in the court where the Calcutta High Court judge was supposed to hear the proceedings. And the court took note. In fact, this remark of Jantar Mantar came from the Supreme Court first. After noting these WhatsApp messages, it was Justice Mishra who first of all pointed out that it seems that the High Court room was in fact converted into a Jantar Mantar like situation where people are being called, they are being mobilized, they are being. And it was in fact also the argument of ED that the crowd was not spontaneous. They presented these WhatsApp chats to show that how people were brought in buses and they were mobilized, they were asked by the legal cell of the Trinamool Congress to assemble around the High Court. So this and also clubbed by previous such instances. Remember, there has been several such instances in past where central agencies had a face-off with Kolkata Police or the West Bengal Police. If you remember, there was a Sandesh Khali incident in 2024, which also had come to the Supreme Court, but at that time the court had not interfered.
Right.
So this is in fact a big development from the court that it has finally decided to intervene.
Right, Vipul, you've given us a lowdown of the NDTV exclusive WhatsApp chats there. Let's tell our viewers more about that. Shreyasi, I would request you to stay back on that story as well. Well, during the very fiery hearing in the Supreme Court on the Bengal ED raid case earlier today, the lawyer for the central agency told court that on January 9th, crowds were gathered at the Calcutta High Court to create ruckus during the hearing. And now, NDTV has exclusively accessed the WhatsApp messages that were circulated on the lawyers' groups, asking them to gather in court. The message asked the lawyers to come in large numbers and join Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's procession. It also mentioned that buses were being arranged to ferry the lawyers to the High Court there in Kolkata. The ED approached the Calcutta High Court to report the hindrance and obstruction caused by the state government in connection with the recent raids which happened at the I-PAC offices. However, on January 9th, the High Court adjourned the plea after commotion broke out in the courtroom. And that's mainly because the lawyers, they had gathered there outside the High Court in Kolkata. Now, the ED lawyer in Supreme Court termed the incident of January 9th in High Court as mobocracy. Prompting a question from the court of the High Court was turned into Jantar Mantar. The Supreme Court said that the High Court in Kolkata was turned into a Jantar Mantar. The ED lawyer alleged that messages were sent by the TMC legal cell to gather crowd and create ruckus at court. All right, we have breaking news on this very story now. The NDTV has accessed the WhatsApp chats, but let's tell you more about the poll bounce rate of West Bengal. This is regarding the BJP has now claimed bid to stall SIR in Bengal. Dinjapur and West Bengal, the poll officers' office have been vandalized in all these districts of West Bengal where the SIR is taking place. There was arson and violence in Dinajpur in West Bengal. The BJP claims that the poll office belongings were seized and they were burnt. BJP also says that TMC vandals are behind this rampage in West Bengal ahead of the polls. My colleague Shreyasi has been tracking this very closely. Shreyasi, we've seen how the officials in West Bengal, the TMC lawmakers are perhaps against, they are apprehensive of SIR happening in the state ahead of polls. And the latest coming in is that BJP has claimed that the poll offices and the belongings have been seized and burnt. Over to you.
Well, there have been incidents reported here in the state back to back. Yesterday in Murshidabad, in Farakka, the BDO office was vandalized by unruly mob. We had seen the Trinamool Congress MLA raising provocative slogans inside the SIR hearing the SIR hearing center, and thereafter the mob vandalized the BDO office where the hearing was taking place. Today in Uttar Dinajpur, that went another step ahead, and there was arson inside the BDO office. The BDO has filed an official police complaint stating that a public infrastructure worth rupees 20 lakh has been vandalized and damaged, and also documents regarding the SIR process has also been damaged. This after villagers have been raising slogans and outpouring their anger over the logical discrepancies. Now, who is behind this, whether it's being provoked by the ruling party or not, that is under the police investigation after official police complaints have been filed. But the Election Commission is also keeping a very close watch. All these incidents are being forwarded to the Election Commission of India.
Right, Tracy. Of course, earlier in the month, Mamata Banerjee also wrote a fifth letter to the Chief Election Commission there, alleging that there were no receipts for SIR documents. Perhaps the lawmakers, the Chief Minister in West Bengal, they're finding reasons not to go ahead with SIR and causing more ruckus there. Well, we have with us Pradeep Bhandari. Pradeep Bhandari from BJP is here with us on the phone line. Mr. Bhandari, your thoughts on how the TMC has yet again vandalized all the offices of the BJP lawmakers there who are going out with SIR procession there. The pertinent question being, again, the TMC and Mamata Banerjee being so against SIR in West Bengal.
Well, this further proves the point that there is no rule of law in Bengal. There is the law of the ruler and that is the law of Mamata Banerjee which prevails. If you look at it, Form 7, acceptance of Form 7 is a statutory requirement under the Representation of People's Act. But realizing that once Form 7 will be submitted in a transparent manner, the illegal voters will be removed from the voter list on which Mamata Banerjee's entire electoral success thrived. This is why the Trinamool Congress at places is either vandalizing the properties of the respected election officials or is pressurizing the EROs to not accept Form 7 filled by the Bharatiya Janata Party and various voters. All of this points towards only one thing, that the true breakdown of democracy and democratic process is happening, if anywhere in the country, it is in Bengal. At the same time, this also exposes how Mamata Banerjee is on a back foot when it comes to Bengal, and she realizes that the people of Bengal have seen through her misgovernance, and this is a last resort that she is attempting to do by preventing a free and fair SIR exercise and acceptance of Form 7.
Right, Mr. Bhandari. Thanks for getting us the latest. Of course, the true breakdown of democracy in West Bengal along with lawlessness in the state ahead of polls.